sọ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni ká ṣe bí ẹni kú káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrò ẹni ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn tẹ̀rù tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀nrọ̀ pa òrí dání wọn ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀ orí ẹni ní pẹ́ kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Odò láyé ó gbé ní lọ bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la òtọ́ láì bá dé. Tread softly dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ sọ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni ṣe rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rí inú gbọ́gbé àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá wọ́n kì í lá jẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ á ò mọ́nú ẹni ayé yẹn kó rọra ṣe ṣọ́ra ṣọ́ra. Pọ́sọ̀ fura pọ́sọ̀ fi jọ́ sí iná. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣòwò tí a lábẹ́lẹ̀ ayé àgbà tó ti fi tó ọ̀la yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlà mi ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ́lọ́dọ̀ ògiri àgbẹ̀lẹ̀ tó wọ́n ti fi gbogbo ìbàjọ́ra ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀.
Yes. Yes, good evening, my people. Apologies for that. Engineer ló ṣiṣẹ́ kíṣẹ́. Mi mọ̀ owó ẹ̀ lọ gbá ní tí ò yẹ kó gbá ni. Right. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. This is the Jagbajanti show where we talk nonsense. And I'm your regular host, Akin. For those joining for the first time, this show comes up every Friday from the hours of 9 p.m. UK time to, you know, 10, half 10. I'm trying to restrict it to, an hour and a half. And I think I've been doing well so far. Right. So what we do on this show basically is just to discuss topical issues that affect our day-to-day, living. And I'm of the opinion that the things we deal with day to day and the choices we make day to day are, you know, of form the aggregate of what we become. So if we get these little decisions right, ultimately it will affect our overall existence and we will enjoy life. And that's why we bring these issues every week and have a look at them. Things I share on this platform are from my own personal experience, personal meditation, and personal research. I don't speak from the perspective of a scholar. I don't speak from the perspective of a professional. I'm only here to, you know, share what I've gone through, how I was able to go through these experiences and come out at the other end. I'm very willing to share with you my scars because I don't feel ashamed of them. They actually prove that I survived. And every scar on my body reminds me of something. And what it reminds me of doesn't, you know, make me feel sad or sorry for myself. Actually, he, every scar represents a battle I fought and won, and there are lessons to take from each of these scar to share with other people. And that's simply what I do here. I'm open to dissenting views. If you have contrary opinion to anything I say here, the comment section is open for you to drop your opinions. I take a look at it from time to time and I can pick up whatever I think needs to be looked at. So please feel free to use it, but be very civil in your conversation. This show has been running for close to 3 years now, and it's been very peaceful. The one tí ilé kan bá ń dàgbà tó bá ń tòrò ọmọ àlè bẹ̀ ni ò tí ì dàgbà. So hopefully gbogbo àwọn ọmọ àlè tí ó lè fẹ́ yọjú bí gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n ti abort dànù. And tàbá dẹ̀ rí èyí tó jẹ́ pé ó ṣáà struggle láti wá náà. Ètò ti wà ńlẹ̀ láti deal pẹ̀lú irú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀. But so far so good. People come on this show, have been well behaved. And, because we are here to just learn, nothing serious, nothing, we're not here to prove that we are better than anyone. Life is a long term lesson, lifelong lesson. We have to learn until we stop breathing. So every day we have to be willing to expand the perimeters of our ignorance. And That's the only way you can enjoy life. The more you know, the more you're willing to learn, the more you know, and the more you know, the easier life it is for you to live. So that's for people who are joining for the first time. So the regulars here understand all what I've just said, so it's fine. As you're coming in, please help me share this show on your platforms. Just send out the link, press the share button so that you're giving opportunity to people who are on your friend list to see this and be aware that something like this is going on and they can join if they feel like. You can also send the links to people that you feel, okay, this topic ma wúlò fún ẹni yìí o. Send it to them privately and let them, connect. You're doing your bit. Ó lè jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ ẹyọkan péré ló máa gbọ́. I have no power to change no one, and I don't even attempt to. All I do is to inspire you towards that path of change. All I do is just to stir up a conversation within you. And once I succeed in doing that, my job is done. I leave the rest to you and your path in life. It's going to be the same thing tonight. You've seen the topic. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm not here to tell you whether do this or don't do that. I'm here to give you a piece of information. And what you do with that information is entirely up to you. My job is to tell you the truth about whatever we discuss here. It doesn't have to be comfortable because truth is never comfortable. But we have to say it regardless. And then what to do with it, it's out of my control. And that's what I'm going to do again tonight. So please, let's invite people to join us. I greet my people on YouTube, those on Twitter, and my regulars on Facebook. I greet all the silent listeners and the invisible listeners as well. Especially these are the people who will join the show later on. People who will watch the recorded version of the show. I greet all of you whenever you will be connecting to this show. I'm always happy to have you guys join me. Right, as we do every Friday, we need to put somebody on the high table, and that is the first person to log on to the show. And I think she's becoming very consistent now. I think this is the third week running that she will be sitting on the high table, and I think she's enjoying the treat because we do treat people who sit on the high table. We spoil them. Oríṣiríṣi assorted ló wà tó máa jẹ, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n massage wọn, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ń fún wọn ní manicure pedicure, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n gbogbo nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe fún wọn. So we just have to taste this treat once and you will never want to let go of it. So welcome to the high table. Drum roll. My fluffy sister from the United States of America, Esther Adiola. Yes. Bam, bam, bam. Ọ̀ṣà, ẹgbà báàgì wọn. Ọ̀dà bẹ́ẹ̀. I think we have to get a carriage where àwọn ọkùnrin tó strong mẹ́rin ló máa gbé from each side, and then a máa gbé àwọn tó ń lọ sí high table yẹn sínú ẹ̀, wọ́n á gbé wọn séjìká. I think that's what we need to be doing now. Right. Thank you very much for connecting with me. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ kálẹ́ o. I greet you specially. Thank you for always tuning in. It's a pleasure to have you on the show again tonight. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó tún ti connect mi ò tí ì mọ̀. I greet all of you as well. I think my madam is somewhere here. I greet her especially as well. And for those that will join us later, I will give you a shout out if I see you, if you indicate that you are here. Right. Thank you very much for your presence, and I think we can get straight into the show so we don't waste more time. Right. The discussion for tonight is what I titled Gambling, All You Have to Know. All you have to know about gambling. So, at the end of today's show, you won't hear from me saying stop gambling. And you won't hear from me saying continue to gamble. But you will leave here with full information as it relates to gambling. And then you can choose what you want to do. I do not belong to that group of do's and don'ts or imposing, things on people. No, I like to educate. If there's something you're not sure of or you've done wrong, or we think, okay, you need some sort of direction on, I prefer to educate you on everything relating to that issue so that you can take your own decision and you can live with the consequence of that decision. And peradventure you take a wrong choice or wrong decision, within that education you've had, you'll be able to plot your way out of that situation. That is the way I approach life. So telling somebody don't do this, don't do that. Yes, if care is not taken, you turn them to hypocrites. Because then when you are there, they don't do that thing. And the moment you turn your back, they go ahead doing it. Wọ́n á rò pé àwọn ń ṣe ẹ́ láì mọ̀ pé ara wọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe. So it's important that you help people to become equipped to face situations by themselves rather than you carrying them, because you won't be there forever. Help people to get to a situation whereby they have enough inside of them to take decisions by themselves. Empower people. That is what my approach to life is. I greet you, my brother Samuel Sunday Fagbemi. Àwọn tèmi ìbílẹ̀ gangan nìyẹn. Ìjì ẹjọ́ ẹ bá fi èdè Yorùbá díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí òkè. èmi gan mi tiẹ̀ wá mọ àwọn òyìnbó mi ò mọ àwọn òyìnbó bú tí mo máa ń sọ lẹ́jọ́ mẹ́ta ẹ̀ gan. ẹ́ ah ó ní agbára ó ní agbára màmá wọn sí màmá wọn sí màmá wọn sí right. So we'll be looking at gambling, and we will be breaking it down. It doesn't matter if you're not a gambler. Information can help you to help somebody else. And you never know what life will throw at you. What you hear tonight might help you to, apply yourself correctly to the situation in your day. You never know. So right. Let's start. What's gambling? In simple terms, gambling is you staking something of value against an activity with full consciousness of the fact that a loss can result from it, and also you are hoping that you can gain or win out of it. So from that definition, you should pick something from it. And something, very clear from that definition is that it's an activity you're engaging in with no certainty of the outcome. So you're going into it, but you don't know how you will come out. So with that understanding, there's risk associated with it. With that understanding, it takes away from you some, level of control. Right. What are the major categories of gambling? Because oríṣiríṣi ló wà. There are two major categories of gambling. We have the chance-based gambling, and we have the skill-based gambling. So the chance-based one are such that, well, oríborí yẹn ni ó kàn gbìyànjú ẹ̀ ni ó mọ ibi tí ó máa já sí. And then the skill-based one is one where it's something you've been trained to do. You understand the game. So the chance one, winning is completely out of your control. Anyone can win, And then with the skilled one, you have a bit of, you can predict of how the outcome will be if you apply some of the skills and knowledge you have from the training you've received on how to do that thing. So example of the chance-based one is when you what was this popular one, the sport bet, whether ajá ni o, whether football ni o, whether ẹṣin ni o, all those ones they are chance based because ó kàn kówó lórí ajá tree ni tí ò bá gbéra owó ẹ̀ lọ nìyẹn. Ó kówó lé pé City máa na Fulham, ó kówó lé Man U máa na Brighton 99th minute ní Brighton ní penalty, owó ẹ̀ lọ nìyẹn. So you have no control completely. Another one is the lottery. Lottery also is a form of gambling. And that one also, you have no control. You have no control over it. Akọ́kọ̀wé lé náà ni, wọ́n á dẹ̀ lọ yí ráfù. So ibi tó bá lọ, òun náà ló bọ́ sí. The skill-based one, basically are those ones you find people play in the casino, maybe the poker game, the card one. They are trained on more what to do, and they know how to deal with this game such that in some way they can tilt the odds in their favor. Right. So those are the two major categories to gambling were. Right. The next question we'll ask is, why do people gamble? Why do people gamble? And there are various reasons to this as well. There are people who do it just for the thrill of it. Just like somebody would buy a motorbike and get on the road and speed. Is that speed that they enjoy. They have the head for that, speed and all that. Likewise, you have people who consider betting in that manner. They just enjoy it. When they're out there, they see like a social game. And the thrill that they can lose something is what gets them, high. So people do that. You have people who bet because they are desperate for money. They have financial problems. They look right, left, and center. They don't know where the help will come from. So they take the little that they have, thinking they can double it, and then help them out of their financial predicament. You have people who will, maybe they don't have money, they have something valuable, something of value. So they use it to bet, thinking that they can win money back to help them out of their financial situation. And also we have people who engage in this act because they're using it as a distraction from facing some real life challenges that they're going through. So the same way people use drugs, alcohol as a means of escape when they have issues that they're dealing with, instead of facing that issue headlong, they want to hide from it. So we have people who use gambling for this same purpose as well. Instead kan dojúkọ wàhálà tí wọ́n ń là kọjá, they would rather, just they hide from it and use this to escape the life challenges. Now, quickly, I want us to look at how do we view gambling. This to an extent might be a personal question. If I ask, how do you see gambling? I know many people will talk from the perspective of their religion. Many people might even talk from perspective of maybe their experience. Maybe they've seen, people close to them come to ruin from gambling. Right. I witnessed something very recently. I was packed up somewhere, and then I noticed this guy stormed out of a pub and was screaming, "Fuck! Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!" And just, he was behaving very crazy. And everything on his way, he was pushing down, being, Adanu, skip, Atidanu, but in my mind, mo ní mo ní bọ̀bọ̀ ó ti gbọ́jà sára. Mo ní bọ̀bọ̀ ti gbọ́jà sára. But not long after that, the man walked out of that same pub. And obviously, he could see that shock and surprise on our faces. Tá ń wò pé àkìlọ̀ ṣe wọ́n ẹ̀. Kò sẹ́ni tó bí lẹ́jọ́ fúnra rẹ̀ ló sọ, ó ní he just lost £9,000 in the machine. Mo wò báyìí pé 9 what? 9 grand. So apparently that is the landlord of that pub. Ẹni pub yẹn nìyẹn. So technically, that gambler was £9,000 poorer, and that man, the landlord, at that moment was £9,000 richer. Láì ṣàlọ, láì ṣàbọ̀. Ọtí kọ́ ló tà o. Machine yẹn kàn wà ń bẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ń pawó fún. Do you wonder why gambling is a successful industry? It's simple. The odds are never in the favor of the gambler. So it is the gambling house or the gambling business that always win. Because there is a simple fundamental principle that a gambler is violating. And that is you trying to bring something out of nothing. So if we look, or if we ask ourselves, how does religion view gambling? Is it a sin? I know Islam forbid gambling. Haram. And obviously, Christians too will say it's a sin. But personally, I consider gambling to be a social vice and not a sin in any way. Because we should be careful not to make absolute where the scriptures have not made absolute. There's nowhere in the scripture that gambling was mentioned. But there are several places in the scripture where we were warned against the love of money, where we were warned against, getting yourself into all these get rich quick schemes because you will lose all you have. And also there's a pronouncement from the beginning that from the sweat of your brow you shall eat until you go back to dust where you came from. So the established fact is that you must labor to earn a living. And when you don't follow these principles, then you are setting yourself up for failure. So personally, gambling is a social vice. It's something very insidious, something very subtle. Tó o mọ̀ pé ó ń ba ayé ẹ jẹ́ because kò more glamorize here. You see all these fanciful adverts and all these things, and then you see some people winning once in a while and all that. But it's something that a máa ṣẹ́wọ́ sí ẹ máa bọ̀. Very seductive. Títí wàá fi wọnú ẹ̀, and then it will completely entrap you. So instead of trying to scare people into saying it's a sin, wàá lọ sí fire tó bá gamble, wàá lọ sí inú náà jàmá tó bá ṣe kíní ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀. No. I think the right way to approach it is to give this sort of education for people to know everything regarding to this. And if they still choose to do it, then it's entirely up to them. And they must be willing to live with the consequence of their choice. So just like some of the things we frown out and say this one is wrong, this one is bad, it's not those things that are really bad in themselves, but what they can lead to. So, for example, it's not drinking that is a problem, but getting drunk. Because the moment you get drunk, when you go past your limit, you lose control. You're no more conscious. And from there, o lè pààyàn, o lè para ẹ̀, o lè bayé èèyàn jẹ́, o lè bayé ara ẹ̀ jẹ́, o lè kú tìjú bára, o lè kó tìjú bá gbogbo èèyàn. So likewise, gambling as well. It's one person that gambles. It's a whole lot of people that suffers for it. So if you have a gambler in your family, if that person is not helped in one way or the other, it will lead to a family disease. Because in one way or the other, the whole family will suffer from it. And anything that threatens civilization is a social vice, which in this case, gambling falls into that category. Gambling, especially when it becomes addictive, it's not different from other addictions you have, like drug and alcohol and stuff. The only difference is that it is a non-substance addiction. While those ones involve you, taking something in and, to alter your brain function. This one, you don't take no substance. But it affects the brain in the same way. And you know how addicts behave when they want their fix. They can rob, they become wild. So it's the same thing with gamblers. We've had sportmen who had successful careers, and today they are back to penury because they gambled all they achieved away. Some of them, as at today, are selling their um, uh, what's this thing that they collect when they are active? They exchange jerseys and memorabilia. That's what many of them are selling today to be able to feed. They auction it because what if you gbogbo nǹkan tó ní, what if he tàtẹ́tẹ́. And then you begin to wonder, but these guys have money. Why are they still gambling? That is where we tell you it's not only about need of money. Don't soon you see gambling. So people must find out why they do it. Some of them suffer personal problem and they use that as a cover. Some of them, like I said, after they've gone to play football, they come back, their life is boring. They just want to do something that, make them feel high. Okay, football forbids them from taking drugs and all these things because they constantly get checked. So nǹkan míì tó tún fún yàn ní high ó lélẹ̀. And before you know it, because they earn so much, they can afford to throw so much at it. And many of them live today with huge regret. So I want us to look at the type of gamblers that exist. So àti wo categories of gambling. Now we want to go into the individuals themselves. We want to look at the type of gamblers that exist. So there are majorly three types of gamblers that exist. We have the professional gamblers. These are the ones that gamble for a living. They are trained and they travel all around and get into competitions. Ẹ máa rí àwọn poker game yẹn jẹ́ pé wọ́n tẹ̀ máa televise ẹ̀ gan and stuff like that. They win big and they lose big. With this category of people, they gamble based on their skill set, on their techniques, on their tactics. So they have a way of, tilting the odds in their favor. So with people like this, they are in control. They think they know when to say, no, I'm not putting more money. Because they're intelligent people. They know how much to place on certain bets, on certain sport, on certain event. They have been trained to rein on their emotions such that because gambling, plays on your emotions. They have control over their emotions. They are cold-blooded. They know when to say no. So that is a category of professional gamblers. The second category, we have the social gamblers. These are people who gamble just for the fun of it. Just like some people will go out on weekends and drink. So these ones too go to casino and, gamble. They meet with friends. It's a community. They're there and they meet with other people and they chat, they talk, they gamble among themselves, they put some stake on whatever they do, they win, they laugh, and they go home. With people like this, they are also in some sort of control because they don't take unnecessary risk. They know it's just for the fun of it. So they know the limit of what they want to lose. So that is the category of the social gamblers. And then we have the last category, which is the problem gamblers. These are the ones that I will want to focus on a little bit tonight. These are the ones you find around, loitering around, betting shops. These are the ones that are always with betting on the phone. These are the ones always going to. I don't want to mention names of betting companies and all that, but you know them. These ones are the ones that bet because either they have financial problem or they are hiding from some life challenges that they don't want to face. And then they have been sucked up into this such that they've become addict. They have no control anymore. Now they have a behavioral problem, a mental problem. Something has shifted within the structure of their brain. So, wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe mọ́. They don't know when to stop when they are losing. Rather, they do something they call chasing a loss. So the more they lose, the more they put in, thinking that they can win back what they've lost. Àwọn eléyìí ló ń gbé school fees ọmọlẹ̀ láti fi ta tẹ́tẹ́. Àwọn eléyìí ló ń gbé ìwé ilé wọn lẹ̀ láti fi ta tẹ́tẹ́. Àwọn eléyìí ló ń fi sálárì wọn bọ́n ṣe ń gbà á tán kúrò tán fi 30 days ṣe. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ gbà, wọ́n á dẹ̀ kọrí sínú betting shop. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ lọ stake ẹ̀. Àwọn eléyìí ni I saw a picture recently, a guy at a betting shop in Nigeria, naked, stark naked. Mi ò mọ̀ o, báwọn gbaṣọ lọ́rùn ẹ̀ ni o. Bóyá orí ẹ̀ ti yí ni o after tó bá yóò lose something substantial and ó kàn bọ́ra ẹ̀ sí òhò ni o. But he was there, standing in front of the ṣé kúbíkù ni wọ́n máa pè ní, naked, and there were other people there as well. That is a problem gambler. Like I said earlier, gambling addiction is not different from other forms of addiction that you know, except that this one is non-substance addiction. So when you meet a problem gambler, mọ̀ pé ó ti sick mentally, and you can see in them. You can see pé wọ́n sick. Wọ́n dàbí ẹni tó mu drug náà ni. They don't look alright physically because nǹkan kan ò ń dúró sọ́wọ́ wọn. Orí wọn ti yí. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle that leads to financial ruin. Because they start from owó kékeré tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n attempt wípé tí n bá fi owó kékeré ta nǹkan báyìí, màá pa nǹkan ní ńlá. Unfortunately, they will lose that money. And then, in their mind, they're thinking, quickly, tí n bá lè tètè tún ṣe báyìí, màá pa owó yẹn padà. So, in a bid to win back what they've lost, they can go borrowing, they can go taking loans, they can dip their hands into their credit card and stuff like that. And then they keep losing, and they keep going back, they keep losing, they keep going back, thinking they can win back what they've lost. And there are several ways that this happens. Àwọn machine wà jẹ́ pé wọ́n á kàn lọ ṣẹ́ owó ńlá, wọ́n á máa jù sínú kinní yẹn, wọ́n á máa fà á kò ní yọ same set of symbols. Owó lọ nìyẹn. And in your mind, let me try one more time. Let me try one more time. Before you know it, £1,000 ti lọ. Before you know it, £2,000 ti lọ. Now, bó bá padà délé, you cannot function as a man. You start to worry. Owó tó yẹ kó fi báyà bọ́yàwó àtọmọ, ó ti bá tẹ́tẹ́ lọ. Aṣọ ò ní pé méjì lọ́rùn ẹ̀ torí wọ́n gan ò lè tọ́jú ara ẹ̀. Your partner will suffer, people around you will suffer, you will suffer. So, let's look at some of the specific problems that problem gamblers suffer from. And tó ti ní gambling addiction. Kí ni àwọn problem tí ó máa ń suffer or tí wọ́n máa ń suffer? Number one, and the most important of it, the most serious of the problems, is financial ruin. Financial ruin. And that's why I put in the caption. If you hope to be a millionaire gambler, then you must start gambling while you are a billionaire. Kí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn máa yé ẹ̀yin ọlọ́gbọ́n. Tẹ́ bá ti rí èèyàn kan péré tó ṣoríire láti di tẹ́tẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ tẹ́ bá ti rí. Àwọn tó ṣoríire nídìí tẹ́tẹ́ làwọn tó ní company tẹ́tẹ́ yẹn. Because they are the ones that the odd favour. Even gbogbo àwọn kan máa wà jẹ́ pé ẹ bá ju coin sínú ẹ̀, kíní ẹ̀ machine ẹ̀ fi gbé àwọn gift or whatever thing like gbogbo ẹ̀ náà form of gambling. Ìtẹ́ mọ̀ ni pé wọ́n ti fi Vaseline pa gbogbo àwọn ẹnu kíní yẹn. Jẹ́ pé bó ṣe ń gbé àwọn kíní yẹn lá máa yọ̀ jábọ́. So tẹ́ bá rí èèyàn kan tó papà pick ẹ̀ tó ti kíní ẹ̀ pick tó win ní nǹkan kan. You know how many people have lost? Tó ti gbé tó ti jábọ́ tí kíní yẹn ti nù tí Vaseline yẹn ti nù kúrò. Tó di pé ó ṣe dry enough fẹ́yàn kan láti gbé. ṣe wo iye èèyàn tó ti máa ju owó sínú ẹ̀, ẹ wo iye tí àwọn tó ní kíní ẹ̀ ti máa pa kí one person kó tó jẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Onítẹ́tẹ́ yìí ṣoríire o, aṣọ ìpé méjì lọ́rùn wọn, wọn ì níláárí. Because ọ̀nà ẹrú wọ́n fẹ́ fi kọ́rọ̀ jọ. Wọn ò fẹ́ jẹ, wọn ò fẹ́ ṣe, wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ. Owó tó ní tẹ́tẹ́ bá pa, ìdí tẹ́tẹ́ náà ló ń padà ná sí. So that is one. Two, onítẹ́tẹ́, gamblers will have other forms of addictions. Because they are constantly in that state of anxiety, that state of stress. So they will constantly need something to stabilize them. And that's why hardly would you find gamblers who don't drink. Hardly do you find gamblers who don't smoke. And other activities that can, try to calm them or take away their sorrow when they've lost heavy. So after they've lost money, they have to drink or take drugs or go and sleep with a prostitute so as to take their mind off their loss. So not only are they experiencing financial ruin, they are also engaging in other, self-destructive activities. So you can see bí kinní bó ṣe ń kóra jọ pọ̀. Bó ṣe ń kóra jọ pọ̀. So another problem that you find with someone suffering from gambling addiction is they will have health issues. Ẹ bá rí wọn, wọ́n máa dàbí wọ́n á rí rínṣinrìnṣin. Because they are constantly anxious. Even ẹ̀yin kan ta lọ́tírì lásán, ẹ̀ ní sùn. Èmi á ká sókè báyìí ni. Because you are thinking, kí n lè jẹ báyìí, wàá ti máa fantasize nǹkan tó máa fowó yẹn ṣe, wàá kàn náà ń pò jẹ ni. So owó yẹn ń sìn ó dàbí pé ó fẹ́ sínú atẹ́gùn because kò mú èrè kankan padà wá. And then you calm down. Wàá tún wà depressed. Wàá tún lọ again pé better luck next time. So that series of high and low, high and low, high and low over a short period of time will lead you to depression because you are never stable mentally. So when you see them, they don't eat, gbogbo tó bá rí tẹ́tẹ́ ni. So wọ́n lose weight. When you see them, they don't sleep. It shows on their face. Ẹni yóò sùn for days because owó tó lose last time yẹn ó ti gba ọrùn lójú ẹ̀. Gbogbo ṣe máa lọ again láti pa owó yẹn padà ló ń rò. And then some people who lose so big tó jẹ́ pé ẹlòmíì owó tó kó sí lọ́wọ́ pé ẹ bá wa kówó ìdání, owó àdúgbò àbówó ibi iṣẹ́ or anything like that, asáré wò ẹ̀mí yẹn asáré tì í pé ó mà lè dọ́bù owó, mà lè dọ́bù owó, mà lè dọ́bù owó. Á wọ bàtà, á kọrí síbi tó ti ń bẹ̀, tá lọ fowó gamble. If such a person lose that money, then they have the tendency of committing suicide, ending it all. You've seen people who will write note and say, I can't bear this shame anymore, blah, 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 blah. Wọ́n ò ní kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ síbẹ̀. But these are some of the things that they are dealing with. They can't face the shame. They can't handle the emotional pain. And from their depression, they slip into having suicidal thoughts, and eventually they carry it out. They end their life. Because if you have seen people who lost everything, their savings, their home, their family, it leaves them completely empty, hopeless, and they have no reason to live anymore. So kí ló kù? Ikú yá jẹ́ ẹ̀sín ni. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ para wọn. Wọ́n á para wọn. So we have people who have lost their beautiful family because at this stage their partner can't just cope with such a person anymore. Because onítẹ́tẹ́ ò lè lóòótọ́. When you have a partner that constantly lies, gbogbo nǹkan nulẹ̀ ló ti tà tán. Gbogbo lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé òun fẹ́ fi ṣe nǹkan báyìí, ó lọ fi ta tẹ́tẹ́ ni, á dẹ̀ lose owó yẹn náà ni. It will get to a time that you can't bear it anymore. And you will say, you know what? Nah, I better leave this person. So it's not really, there's no matter how they glamorize it, no matter how beautiful the advert looks, no matter how they use people you love as ambassadors, as people to sell these things to you. It's really ugly. It's ugly. So I have a principle in life. Nǹkan tí mi ò bá ti ní control lé lórí from start to the end, I don't get myself involved. In fact, it was after I've lost money in crypto that I even consider crypto to be a form of gambling. Because kò sí certainty inú ẹ̀. Especially at a point where people start mining their own coins and then they would push people into buying it, and they become that big whale and then pull the rug off the feet of everyone and cash out immediately and then send everybody into ruin. So nǹkan tí mi ò bá ti lè ní control lórí ẹ̀ or lórí outcome ẹ̀, nǹkan tí mi ò lè apply effort mi sí kí n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé yes, mo làágùn lórí kíní, I don't do it. Gbogbo àwọn pyramid scheme yẹn, advanced gambling ni or package gambling ni. Because how would somebody tell you to you know, put 10,000 naira and in 24 hours, wàá gba 400,000. Who does that? Irú multiplying effect wo nìyẹn? Kí ni wọ́n ṣe tó pọ̀ owó yẹn jáde bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn that? And because it's packaged around the business, either fish farming, either crop agriculture, either selling this or that or whatever thing like that, people consider it to be legit. But always remember, the moment what they are selling to you looks like you are putting something on nothing, run away. Torí nǹkan kan ò lè dúró lórí òfo. For something to stand, it must stand on something. You can't suspend. For example, mo mú pen dání sìn. I can't suspend it in the air. I have to place it on something. Tí wọ́n máa dúró nínú atẹ́gùn, báyà máa sokùn tínrín mọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ máa rí from ọ̀ọ́kán tá a bá ń ṣe fídíò. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ní rọ́wọ́ tí mo fi dìímú látọ̀hún náà. Then you think it's floating. Nothing floats. So the trick is they go and find people, that you love, celebrities, they sponsor events that you like and all these things, and to make it look attractive. In the country where I live here, they're working actively to put control measures in place that, restrict people's participation in gambling. You will never see a public advertisement of gambling. You won't. And where they do, they must put a disclaimer warning people against gambling. Ilé-iṣẹ́ tó advertise gan máa warn àwọn èèyàn pé you are at risk of losing your money. They must mention it. If they will show anything gambling related on the television, wọ́n máa ń ṣe from past midnight ni. Wọ́n ń ṣe during the day, where every family member have access to the to the TV. Alẹ́ lóru lẹ máa rí, ó dẹ̀ ní àwọn channel tó máa show ẹ̀. And constantly náà ni wọ́n máa scroll lórí TV yẹn tó announce wípé you are at risk of losing your money. Constantly ni wọ́n máa flag warning yẹn. And also, I think they are also enforced to place a limit to iye téèyàn lè bet. So tó bá ti ń pẹ́ ni to lose the level kan báyìí, wọ́n láti stop ẹni yẹn kó má jẹ́ kó participate mọ́. Then they ban every sports people from advertising for gambling company or having anything related to gambling, because players also do it. Wọ́n á ti bá àwọn bookers dì, first throwing, first yellow card, this and that. Constantly ni wọ́n investigate wọn. Constantly ni wọ́n investigate wọn. And footballers that are caught in all these things, they are heavily sanctioned. This is a country that has realized how dangerous gambling is. And they are making every effort to help their citizens. Ṣùgbọ́n ní part of the world, ibi táwa ti wá is on the increase now. People want to get rich without working because we worship money. We do not care about the process of how people got the money. All we care about is they just turned up with money. And if that is the reward system in place in a society, then everyone will just go out there and go and do whatever they can to make that money. And today you have celebrities openly advertising for betting companies. You have betting companies organizing or sponsoring, events on national TV. And more and more and more and more people are being sucked up into this evil way of life. Many people are losing their lives. Many people are losing their livelihoods. Many people are becoming addicts. Mi dẹ̀ tí gbọ́ rí ẹni tó jáde tó ní òun pa 100 million nídìí betting, tó dẹ̀ fi 100 million yẹn tó fi set ara ẹ̀ up, tó fi change ìgbésí ayé ara ẹ̀. Àti rẹ́ni tó pa 1 million, 10 million, ṣùgbọ́n tó lose gbogbo ẹ̀ padà sínú ẹ̀ náà. What is the way out of this situation? Number one, you have to be honest with yourself that you have a problem. Wọ́n lọ́jọ́ tí wèrè bá mọ̀ wípé nǹkan ń ṣe òun, ọjọ́ náà ni wèrè gbádùn. Wèrè mọ̀ pé nǹkan ń ṣe òun ni, òun ló jẹ́ kó wọjà ń hòhò. Ọjọ́ tí wèrè bá mọ̀ pé ìhòhò mo wà yìí, ọjọ́ yẹn ló gba àlàáfíà. So everything starts from you. Sit yourself down and admit that you have a problem. You must come to that realization. That is what will kickstart your solution out of this problem. Because it is tough. Like every form of addiction, it is tough. You want to help somebody with addiction, you must first of all convince them that they have a problem. Convince them that they have a problem and find a way of dragging them to a rehab. When you about here, you can't extend a hand of help to them. They won't take it. Then the second thing is, you have to now understand the cause of your own gambling. Kí ni ìdí tí mo fi ń ṣe? This is the process you have to follow, because nothing will magically appear. Wọ́n ń gbàdúrà pé ẹ̀mí yẹn burúkú jáde nínú ayé, ẹ̀mí burúkú yẹn jáde, kò sí nǹkan tó jọ. Wọ́n lè fi hell and heaven threaten yẹn kò torí ẹ̀ filẹ̀. Because we're dealing with the mental issue now. There's a shift in the normal functioning of your brain. So, a ń láti dá padà sí bó ṣe yẹ kó function. and kì í ṣe overnight. So brain yẹn láti kọ́kọ́ admit náà pé yes mo ní problem. Láti kọ́kọ́ recognize pé mo ní problem. Just like before they give you any vaccine or whatever, they must first of all introduce the virus to your body, because vaccine yẹn láti ní nǹkan tó máa lọ target nínú àgọ́ ara ẹ̀. So treatment tó need náà brain yẹn láti kọ́kọ́ recognize ẹ̀ pé yes nǹkan báyìí ṣe mí. Now general problem ló níbọ̀ tó tún wà specific. Òun láti wá dátì ẹ̀ yọ pé okay yeah gamblers pọ̀, but kí ni ìdí tèmi fi ṣe ìtèmi ṣe? Because now we need to tailor your treatment. Is it because I have financial issue? If I have financial issue, then you must understand wípé ìwọ̀nba tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kó máa dànù láti fi pawó òjijì yẹn kọ́ ló máa help. Same way people go to places of prayers and be praying for angel to credit their account. They go and be praying that the people they are owing should forget the loan. They're praying that God should pay their debt. You didn't whine God. Also, on the machine casino yẹn. Some people will sow seed. One time we sow this seed, somebody sow seed, and then the Union Bank just called and said, you know what, we just checked your record and you are owing us 100 million. And our GM, after meeting with the board of directors, they said that they cancel all your debt, and not only that, they are also giving you another 50 million to set up yourself. Wèrè ẹ̀dá kan ló jáde tó wá sọ testimony yẹn o. Ìwọ ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé pásọ̀ ló plant yẹn. So owó ọkọ̀ tó kù lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ gan tó yẹ kó fi wọkọ̀ lọlé àti gbogbo nǹkan míì tó tún ní wàá da gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ̀ wàá fi sow seed. Wàá máa retí pé báyà Zenith Bank á wá pè ẹ́ pé gbèsè tó jẹ àwọn ti forgive ẹ̀. Ó tanra ẹ̀. It does not work that way. You have to sit yourself down and plan how to repay your debt. You structure the repayment in agreement with the people you are owing. Ẹ wá iye báyìí mo lè máa san lóṣooṣù. Ẹ wá ní agreement. Fúnra ara ẹ̀ wàá lọ wá ọ̀nà tí wàá fi máa rí owó yẹn san lóṣooṣù. That's how you can pay your debt. And it's the same strategy here. If it is financial problem you have, gambling won't take you out of it. Gambling will add to that financial woe for you. To come out of financial problem, you have to go and work. To earn, you have to cut away gbogbo àwọn outgoings here. Ìtó bá ṣe cut, you have to reduce it. And then open more channels of earnings for yourself. That is the only way you can come out of financial problems. And it won't be overnight. It will be gradual. Because wà ní state tí ò tó tẹ́lẹ̀. Tó bá yá á tó kò ní ṣẹ́kù. Tó bá yá á tó exactly. Tó bá yá á máa ṣẹ́kù. Tó bá yá wà ní excess. That is the stage you have to go through. Or those are the stages you need to go through. Nothing magically happens. Everything has a process. So tó bá yẹ pé means títí ẹ nìyẹn, tó bá yẹ pé reason tó fi ń gamble nìyẹn, then you tailor the solution as such. If you're using it to hide away from some personal issues that you have to face those issues. Just like alcohol or drugs won't, take away those issues. They will only mask it for a while. Thinking about it, kálójú ẹ tí ìfẹ́ tí ẹ bá ti wear out, àwọn ìṣòro yẹn tó ń wò ẹ́ life and direct by. So you can't keep hiding for from your personal issues in life. You have to face them. You have to face them. You have to confront them. Fight them until you defeat them. Stop hiding under other vices. Stop running away. Stop trying to deflect issues you're dealing with. Kò ní lọ, ó wà ń bẹ̀. The only way they will go away is when you do something about them. Now, the third thing you can do, because these are practical steps. Eléyìí ò ń ṣe pé bóyá format kan àbí tàjé kan àbí. No, they are practical steps. So after you've convinced yourself that you have problem, you've identified why you gamble. The third thing is to find support, either personal or professional. If you have trusted people around you, family, friend that you can confide in, you can confide, don't shame you. And I need you people around to help me and hold me accountable. And this has to be people that are not gamblers themselves. These are people because I'm go to first stop ugbo tó yẹ ṣe hang around lára wọn tó bá ti gbóòórùn kí ẹ ti ń ò nígbà wọn pé jẹ́ ń gbẹ́nu sí wàá náà wàá kàn gbẹ́nu sí ni. You have to find people who are not engaged in the same thing you are trying to stop, because àwọn yẹn ló lè help. Àwọn tó yẹ pé ẹjọ́ wà ní group tẹjọ́ ń ṣe yẹn wàá jìnnà sí wọn deliberately, because naturally when you see them indulging in it, it's something you've been part and parcel of. Oh, mọ̀gbà tó máa kàn tún ṣe. So you have to, take yourself away from them and have people around you who can hold you accountable. You can go further by, maybe handing over your account or bank card or whatever to them. Owó ẹ mú kúrò níbi tó ti lè ní easy access sí, kó wà níbi tó jẹ́ pé wàá take permission kó tó lè access it. And until these people are satisfied in pé kì í ṣe ń po fẹ́ lọ gamble away, they will not release such funds to you. Because to change a habit, you have to reinforce a new pattern for a considerable period of time. So when look, we're dealing with brain functioning. A fẹ́ yí ọpọlọ yẹn padà kó act in another way. So we have to set a new way of doing things and reinforce that behavior. That set of behavior, reinforce it over and over and over and over again. The brain have to recognize nǹkan míì láti ṣe. So when you have this support around you, when you feel the urge, you talk to them. They know how to distract you and take your mind away from it. Your money is not readily accessible for you. When you go to them, gbogbo lámbà tó bá fún wọn wá scrutinize and wá ṣe tó bá ti rí pé àwèrè ó tún fẹ́ lọ ta kíní ẹ̀ wọn ò ní fún ẹ lówó. So with that, urge yẹn á máa kúrò. Then at this point, another thing you can do for yourself is this. Apply this a lot in my own life. Gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe láyé, we do it for two reasons: to derive pleasure and to avoid pain. Gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe láyé is for these two reasons. Right? If there's something that you wish to stop, all you need to do is to associate more pain, more negativity to that thing as much as you can. And over time, you will do less and less and less and less of that thing. àwọn kan wà jẹ́ pé wọ́n á sọ fún ẹ pé ọlọ́run máa yẹ káwọn rí tó máa yọ igbó kúrò lọ́rọ̀ àwọn. Irú àwọn ẹni yẹn, as long as they keep attaching pleasure to smoking weed, kò sí ní tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ fún wọn, wọn lè stop. Dókítà bá sọ fún wọn pé ó kù ọjọ́ kan báyìí kan ya wèrè, wọ́n á sọ fún ẹ pé all die na die. To people like that, don't bother yourself talking to them or try to get them out of it or whatever thing like that. Nah. Because on the balance of pain, on the balance of the scale of pain and pleasure, wọ́n ti elevate pleasure ju pain lọ. And for every decision you want to take in life, you must weigh it on the scale of pain and pleasure. Tó bá ti ń pé pain nǹkan, ó wá to weigh pleasure tó máa derive from it. Don't do it. So don't be rash to take decisions. In anything you want to get yourself involved, ask yourself, ronú lọ sí end. Òpin. If that end is looking like, an end that you do not like, then trace it back to the decision you will take to arrive at that end. Then don't take that decision. Everything ló ní element of pleasure nínú, ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé òpin ẹ̀ ó korò gan. Nǹkan míì dẹ̀rẹ̀ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ ló korò, òpin ẹ̀ á dùn ni. So when you weigh these things carefully, you know what to do and not what to do. So you are always responsible for your life. You take decisions with all consciousness. You're not living a herd lifestyle. Gbogbo èèyàn ṣe èmi náà lọ ṣe. You know what is good for you and what is not good for you. You take your time. You ask yourself critical questions before you say, okay, yes, let me try this. So at this point, associate as much negativity you can to this addiction you have. See how it's leaving you out of pocket. See how it has led you to pick up other forms of addiction. See how nobody wants to associate with you and, almost everyone's leaving you alone. See how you've lost your family and loved ones. See all these things that you do not want again. And see this thing you're doing as the cause of these things. And you will see that gradually you will be losing, the pleasure you have for doing it. And you will do less and less and less of it. Now, the next thing is this. Because vacuum does not exist. Nǹkan kan láti fill nǹkan kan. So, somebody picked gambling to fill up a void in their life. Okay, wọ́n wá realize nsìn pé after all, kíní ẹ̀ ò lè fill void yẹn o. Àwọn láti deal pẹ̀lú issue yẹn gangan ni. So wọ́n wá fẹ́ yọ kíní yẹn kúrò ńbẹ̀ nsìn. So you have to fill it with something else. So pick up other physical activities that you can do, engage yourself in, that will distract you from actually gambling. So ẹlòmíì kò tiẹ̀ ní láti lọ sínú kí ni wọ́n ń pè betting shop, app sì ti wà. Ó dẹ̀ ń gbé fóònù kiri ni. You can start by deleting that app from your phone. So the urge to travel from where you live to the betting shop ló ń láti deal pẹ̀lú nísìn. So time tó bá dẹ̀ ti free tó dẹ̀ pé orí nǹkan kan ṣe yẹn lẹ̀mí ẹ̀ máa ń lọ síbẹ̀. So why don't you engage in other things that can occupy your time? Sport, play football, run, join some clubs, be with people. Engage yourself in activities that prevent you from thinking about these things or taking yourself to go and do it. Because even when they are treating drug addict, they don't just withdraw them all at once. They don't make them go turkey, cold turkey all at once. Wọ́n ní oògùn míì tó ní irú effect tí wọ́n ń rí from the drug they are addicted to tó máa fún wọn. So they are withdrawing the drug that is, destroying them and giving them another drug that give them the same feel, but it's less dangerous. So bọ́n ṣe máa yọ́ síra wọn nìyẹn, títí tí brain wọn á fi recognize nǹkan míì tí wọ́n á fi stop. Ẹni tó fẹ́ stop sìgá all of a sudden nǹkan ló ń stop. Wọ́n lè máa fún ní nicotine patch. Ó lè máa reduce quantity tó ń mu from 20 a day á di 10 á di 5. Ọjọ́ mi á ní relapse á tún padà sí 15 like that títí tá fi máa lo 1 stick a day títí tí ò fi ní mu kankan mọ́. You will not magically stop this gambling addiction. You will not overnight break yourself off this addiction. You will go through a series of steps. You will go through a process. But it starts from you admitting that you have a problem. As long as you don't see this as a problem, kò sí anybody lè bá ẹ sọ. Ó máa ta lọ ni. Tí wàá fi fá gbogbo oorun díẹ̀, tí wàá fi ta tẹ́tẹ́, wàá máa ta lọ ni. Tí wàá fi máa rìn kiri ìgboro níhòòhò, wàá máa ta lọ ni. But the change starts from you recognizing that you have a problem. Lájọ tó ti ń ta, oríire wo ló ṣe ń bẹ̀? Látọjọ́ tó ti ń jẹ, owó tó jẹ kí ló fi ṣe? Ìyípadà wo lowó yẹn mú wá sínú ayé ẹ? Just look around you. When I was growing up, àwọn tó ń ta tẹ́tẹ́ gangan ní pépà wínníwínní yẹn tó máa ń nàpù ẹ̀ Wrexham versus kìnìkan, àwọn orúkọ klọ́ọ̀bù tá a gbọ́ rí láyé. It's not even an advanced as this. Ṣé pé wọ́n rí premiership every week? Rédíò ló máa ń gbọ́, transistor radio. Because máa gbọ́ news pé Addington ó nà Dundee. Gbogbo àwọn when you see them, they're so dirty, rickety looking. Láti ìgbà kékeré mi mo ti associate gambling sí nǹkan burúkú. Because àwọn bàbá yẹn báyìí wọ́n máa look depressed, wọ́n look dirty, gbogbo pépà yẹn máa pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn gan. Pépà yẹn máa pọ̀ gan. That image can never leave my head. And I'm a kind of a person that I plant images in my head a lot. And that's the approach I use in raising my kids as well. It's easy to tell them don't do this, don't do that, but that will only work when you're around them. The moment over Simbe, they think they have the liberty to do what they want, and which they will. But when you plant images in their head regarding situations, that's what they will always go back to and turn them off from doing that thing or encourage them to do that thing. When you take them to mental institutions, tán rí àwọn tó ń gba orí mú gìrì tán fìdí wọ́ tó jọ mọ̀ pé ọgbẹ́nu sí ni o. Wọ́n ní kó má fà á ló fà á o, wọn bí báyìí o. ìwọ náà tó yẹ dẹ̀ pé báyìí ìwọ náà lè padà di báyìí o tó bá lọ fa nǹkan tó mọ̀ fà tó bá lọ gbẹ́nu sí nǹkan tí ó yẹ kó gbẹ́nu sí ibi tí ìwọ náà parí ẹ̀ sí rè o 30 minutes is enough and you take them back home when you are no longer around them when they are in the midst of their friend tí wọ́n pass round tó bá dọ́dọ̀ wọn wá sọ pé no I'm okay because that image will come back flushing into their head because reality ló fi hàn wọ́n yẹn. Reality ló ti fi hàn wọ́n ahead of time. kì í ṣègbà tó ń struggle pẹ̀lú addiction ẹ̀ ló ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́ wá máa kọ́ wọn níyẹn ó ti late. Before ìwà ti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ rèé o. You blow your opportunity, you blow your chance, this is how you will end up. Because orí ọpọlọ ẹ yẹn ọwọ́ tó set ẹ̀ is the only perfect hand tó lè set nǹkan láyé. Ó dàbí kán gbé bọ́ọ̀lù sí orí pin nídùú ni kán gbé sórí pin kó dẹ̀ dúró bẹ́ẹ̀ perfect set. Tó bá ti yẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ máa gbìyànjú ẹ̀ ni o kò lè set mọ́ láyé kò sí bọ́n ṣe look wọ́n ní báwo dẹ̀ ni ara dáadé àwọn ti gbádùn ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan máa ń bẹ́ síwájú máa ń bẹ́ sẹ́yìn. Kì í tán lára alágànná kó má kú yéèyé lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. So má jẹ́ kí n tí perfect hand yẹn set má jẹ́ ó yẹ̀ ni. Tó bá ti yẹ̀ dókítà ayé á kàn gbìyànjú ẹ̀ ni kò lè balance mọ́. So that is how you can help them ahead of time. When you plant that image in their head, when they're in the midst of people indulging in things like this, they understand how to apply themselves better. They know where these things lead. And they can take informed decision and say, you know what? No, I don't want part of this. Kò sí pressure tó lè fún wọn. They won't feel that they are missing out and they won't feel like, they are not a big brother, they are not this, they are not that. Because they understand consequences of indulging in things like that. So, nígbà tẹ́mi ò tí ì rí onítẹ́tẹ́ kankan tó ṣoríire rí tí mo lè fi ṣe àwòkọ́ṣe, why tẹ́mi náà do onítẹ́tẹ́? I don't give a damn. Mi ò kàn sọ pé sin ni no sin. Mo sọ fún yín, èmi ò ń follow gbogbo orú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. I look at things beyond all these do's and don'ts. I understand. I study why things exist. Why is it there? I study principles tó gbé ilé ayé ró. So when there are decisions I want to take and I run them through those principles, tí n bá rí pé ó ń violate principle mo ti mọ̀ pé màá jìyà if I go ahead with it. So all I do is pull back. Nǹkan tí mi ò bá understand mi ò ń kówó mi sí. Nǹkan tí mi ò bá ní control over, I don't get involved. So you must put some sort of order around your life. You must have what I call value clarifications, because these are the things that will help you in shaping your decisions. These are the things that will help you in creating your own path in life. This is all I have for you, my friends, this evening. I can see that there is a lot of buzz going on in the comment section. Let me quickly run through if there's any interesting point there, and then we can end for tonight. My evangelist, my brother Taiwo Obatunse, I greet you, sir. Thank you for joining me. My brothers and my son that Fagbemi has been very, very active on the show tonight. Ṣé ẹ máa ń nàpù ẹ ní? Because ó dàbí pé tọ́pìkì yìí ó mú yín lára díẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí o. You dey nap? My brother say gambling is not a virtue. No matter what how it is viewed. Yes. Wọ́n ní mo ti gbọ́ èèyàn kan tí ó fi owó ẹran ẹ̀ sọmọ lórúkọ play virtual bet. You see? At that moment, they are crazy. They can't think. Because àwọn ò bá yẹn pé àwọn máa pa owó yẹn padà, wọ́n á wá lè ra màálù. Wọ́n á ra màálù tó bá ti pa owó yẹn. Ó ti lọ. You know? Many of these people lose huge amounts they can't afford to eat for themselves in betting shop. Yes. And you know, the first rule of betting is this. The first rule of gambling. Never stake an amount you can't afford to lose. Never bet an amount you can't afford to lose. You know? They have many disturbing slang. Mo ti ṣán 10K, mo ti ṣán 20K lórí virtual. Oh my God. I think you have them around you a lot. You know? You have them around you a lot. And this is in response to my point that is the house that wins. Yes. Ilé ló ń jẹ. Ilé ló ń jẹ. Onítẹ́tẹ́ ò kí ń jẹ, lílé ló ń jẹ. Onítẹ́tẹ́ ò kí ń jẹ. You know? And then there are many of their secret ambassadors on Twitter with deception stuff. Yes, they're on social media encouraging people to get engaged in this vice and luring people into it. But can you blame them? No. Wọ́n ní ẹni tí a kọ́ ní kà tó gbà, ìkà náà ti wà nú ẹ̀ ní. Man is the master and the lord of his life. So if they suggest something evil to you, that means that evil has already been fostered in your mind and is just waiting for a gathered moment for it to carry it out. So if you don't have greed in you, if you understand that you need to work to eat, then no matter how they advertise gambling to you, you will not get involved. You will not get involved because o mọ̀ pé òun violate the principle kan nìyẹn. You know? I have a very special person on the platform, my namesake, and is also a professor, all the way from, if I'm correct, Switzerland. I think I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's in Switzerland. Sean Williams, the only Omo Badagry that I know. No, second Omo Badagry that I know. The first one is my lovely friend when we were at OAU, old school. And then you are the second person. Depegon. I think that means king of boys, right? It's good to have you on the show, my brother. And your comment says it is so terrible that a betting company is the number one advertiser in Nigeria's kit industry presently, heavily wiring the brains of young Nigerians on social media. It is sad. It is sad. In this part of the world, you'll never see public ads of betting. And where they do exist, you see large disclaimer warning participants of the risk of losing their money. On TV, they don't show it until after midnight. You know? And even these days, mo ti rí pé betting shop bọ́n tún ṣe kọ́ wọn tún ti yàtọ̀ nsìn. I mean, bọ́n ṣe tún ṣe design wọn ti yàtọ̀ nsìn. Now, there are no betting shop that you can see through their windows from the outside anymore. Mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tún notice yẹn sìn ni. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ láti ta transparent glass ni wà lè rí inú ilé, but now you can't anymore. And I'm sure that is a new directive as well. To anything tó máa entice àwọn èèyàn, tó máa jẹ́ kó easy fáwọn èèyàn láti fẹ́ ṣe, ni wọ́n make sure pé wọ́n block. At least wọ́n make effort. But ibi táwa wà, wọ́n make any effort. Owner of one of the betting shops in Nigeria, mo gbọ́ gan pé ó dà pé ó ra football club kan ní is it Sweden? Ṣé Sweden ni àbí Norway or somewhere? Just one of those Scandinavian countries ṣá. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ta lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ jèrè rí. Ẹ ronú o. My sister, me too. Even though I'm suspecting him, like pé maybe he's a recovered gambler. He may go suspect, or he has so many of them around him, because his contribution tonight suggests that he knows so much about about the discussion. But anyway, it's good to have someone like him, chip in what he knows, just to give us full to add to the limited information that I have to share. So it shows that somebody actually is giving us real life stuff about the situation. So àti fi hàn ìwọ ọmọ ènìyàn, ọ̀nà ikú àti ìyè. Choose whichever way you want to go. The greatest power God gave to man is the power of choice. And I've not come here tonight to take that power away from you. I've only come here tonight to equip you with information that will help you to take an informed choice. And whatever choice you take, be ready to live with the consequence. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me tonight on the discussion Gambling. Until we meet again next week, Friday. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí mi dárúkọ, mo kí gbogbo yín o. Mo kí yín o. Ìyá mi Princess Bukky Awofeso, I greet you. Ekalema. Dayo Y, I greet you. Abdulrasheed Olalekan Fadipe, Opeyemi Jo Olanihun, Akolade Shola Omogbolagade, Toyayan, I greet all of you. Oluwole Ayodele, Baba ńlá Ọlọ́lá Ayọ̀ Ajayi, mo kí yín sà. Ẹ kálẹ́ o. Mo dẹ̀ kí the only mama ẹ̀ta of all the mama ẹ̀tas. Àwọn ìyá tó sure. Ìyáálé ọ̀kan. I greet you specially, ma. Thank you for joining me on the show tonight. Àwọn mọ̀mọ́ nìyẹn. Wọ́n já tán kutukutu. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Close with one of your numbers for us. Okay. Okay. I'll close with Esopele, Just, exercise caution in life. Ẹ má kánjú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú ayé bọ́n ṣe tó ayé kó lè rọrùn fún wa gbé ni. Gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe lónìí, ẹ rántí pọ̀ là á béèrè o. bí òní ò bá dẹ̀ rí ìdáhùn fún ọ̀la ọ̀la ò ní fi tó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ lẹ̀ o. Ogun tẹ́ ń jà lénìí ogun òní kọ́, ogun àná ni. Òní ló ń béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ àná, àná ò rí ìdáhùn fún òní. Àìdẹ̀ rí ìdáhùn fún òní àná, òní ò fi tọwọ́ ẹ lẹ̀ o. Òun ló ṣe jẹ́ pé ó dàbí pé ayé nira. Fún ìdí èyí, máa rántí ọ̀la á béèrè. Ó dàárọ̀.
Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀rọ̀ pa orí dání wọn. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Odò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́lọ́ tọ́lá ẹ bá dé, stress softly dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn wá ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lá jẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹn kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, àgbà tó ti fi tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Yòókù lọ́gbọ́n, ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni.